I surprised my wife on her vacation, but the secret I found changed everything. Her laughter came through the phone, soft and distant, drowned slightly by the ocean breeze. "Hey babe," she said, her voice sweet, calm, practiced. "Just finished dinner, going to bed soon." I smiled into the silence, even though she couldn't see it. "Sounds perfect," I replied. "I miss you." There was a pause, too long for comfort. Then a laugh, light, airy. "Miss you too, I'll call you tomorrow." The line went dead. But in that small, quiet gap between her words, I heard something I wasn't meant to. A man's voice in the background, low and careless, saying her name. It wasn't me. My thumb hovered over the call log long after she hung up. Her location tag still showed Goa, a solo trip, she'd said, just me and my thoughts. But I knew her tone, the small, careful cracks beneath the sweetness, the way she avoided sending pictures, the way her phone always died early these days. My pulse stayed steady, but something inside me froze. I booked a flight the next morning, not out of anger, not suspicion, curiosity, because I wanted to see the truth with my own eyes. And when I did, I wish I hadn't. The hotel was beautiful, too beautiful for one person. White marble, dim candlelight, couples everywhere. She'd told me she picked something quiet and simple, but the suite she'd checked into was neither quiet nor simple. I waited in the lobby for hours, watching, observing, thinking. She appeared around 8 p.m., a red dress, hair loose, smile too bright to be innocent. She looked happy, the kind of happiness that only blooms when you're hiding something. I followed at a distance, each step echoing with the realization that this wasn't a misunderstanding. She stopped at the bar, and he was already there, tall, relaxed, confident. He didn't touch her at first, just leaned in, whispered something that made her laugh. Then she placed her hand on his arm, casually, but I saw it. That small, familiar gesture she used to give me. My stomach tightened. Not from jealousy, from clarity. Every late-night meeting, every sudden girls' night, every "I'm tired, maybe tomorrow," it all led here. And in that moment, watching her sip wine with another man, I realized she'd already left me long before this trip. The worst part wasn't the betrayal. It was how calm I felt watching it. Because love doesn't die loud. It dies in silence, slowly, coldly, until all that's left is calculation. I didn't confront her that night. Instead, I moved into the room next to theirs, under a different name. The receptionist didn't even question it. I paid in cash. The next 3 days were methodical, quiet investigation. I noted her patterns. Morning breakfast alone, afternoon beach walks with him, evening solo dinners that always ended 2 tables away from him, and late at night, room lights flickering on, then off. I recorded none of it. I didn't need evidence for a court. I needed it for myself, for closure. On the 3rd day, I slipped a note under her door. No signature, just 6 words. "Does he love you like I did?" The reaction was instant. From the peephole, I watched her panic, searching the hallway, clutching the note, eyes wide. Her guilt was confirmation. She knew it was me. She tried to call later that night. I didn't answer. Instead, I walked the beach where they'd walked, traced her footprints in the sand until they vanished beneath the tide. By the 4th morning, she was unraveling. The smile faded. The laughter stopped. The man, I learned his name was Vikram, seemed unaware of what haunted her. But I wasn't here for him. He was just a symptom. She was the disease, and I was the cure. On the 5th day, I knocked on her door. When she opened it, her breath caught, like she'd seen a ghost. "Ryan," she whispered, "what are you—" "Surprising you," I said. My voice was calm, controlled. "Like I said, I missed you." Her lips trembled. I was going to—" "Tell me what?" I stepped inside. The room smelled of perfume and wine, but not mine. His shirt was hanging on the chair. The silence between us was surgical. You said you needed space, I continued, looking around. I gave you space, but I didn't know you'd fill it so quickly. Her face broke. It was a mistake, she said. I didn't mean, stop. My tone was quiet, almost kind, and maybe that scared her more than shouting would have. I placed a small envelope on the bed. Inside was a photo, the one I took of her at the bar, laughing with him. She stared at it, then at me. Her knees weakened. Ryan, please, I still love you. I smiled faintly. You love the version of me that wouldn't have known. That man's gone. Then, before she could speak again, I added, I'm not here to fight. I'm here to return something. She frowned. Return? I slid off my wedding ring, set it beside the photo. Memories belong with the lies they were born from, I said softly. Keep them together. The next morning, I invited her and Vikram to breakfast. She came, pale and nervous. He looked smug, unaware of the storm sitting across from him. I poured them coffee. Then I turned to Vikram. You know she's married, right? He froze, looked at her. What the hell is he talking about? She went silent. The color drained from her face as truth sliced through the illusion she'd built. I wasn't, she began. I interrupted, gently. It's okay. You can tell him now. Her eyes filled with tears. Ryan, please. I leaned back in my chair. You see, Vikram, she's been on vacation. A little escape. A little break from honesty. Vikram pushed away from the table, disgusted. You lied to me? The waitress arrived with their plates. Eggs, toast, orange juice. The moment felt cinematic, almost poetic. Two people caught in the quiet aftermath of exposure. And me, detached, watching their world collapse like it once did for me. I didn't come here to ruin your trip, I said calmly, just to remind you what truth looks like. I stood, paid the bill, walked away before either could speak. Behind me, her voice cracked. Ryan, please! But I didn't turn back. Because some endings don't need words. Just silence. Heavy. Final. Absolute. I drove to the airport that evening. The sea shimmered beside the highway. Waves crashing against rocks like echoes of what used to be us. In the reflection of the rearview mirror, I saw myself. Not broken, not angry, just empty. She'd taught me something valuable. Love without truth is performance. And I was done acting. At the airport bar, I removed the second ring, the one I kept on my keychain after taking it off her finger last year. Dropped it in the whiskey glass. Watched it sink to the bottom. It didn't hurt. Not anymore. It was just quiet. As the plane took off, I didn't look back. I didn't text her. Didn't answer the dozens of missed calls that followed. Some ghosts deserve to haunt themselves. And in that thought, there was peace. Because I didn't lose her on that beach in Goa. I'd already lost her long before. I just finally had the courage to see it.
How could you do this?